Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Noah Berggren, who joins us live from Studio A with our Florida Live forecast. And Noah, I do not like the look of that monitor behind you there.
Yeah, you know, Gary, you could tell what we're talking about just by the background of the weather graphic, right? And we see frost and snow on there, right? You know it's going to be cold, but it's going to be really short, Garrett, but really significant, the cold that comes in over the next few days. And like you said, because of that, today and tomorrow, we've activated a storm team alert. And what that means is that the weather is going to be highly impactful to most, if not all, people in our area, being Central Florida. And the record cold air is going to be tonight into tomorrow. But I do want to stress, I was just looking at some new data that's just coming in now. We got our afternoon piece of weather data in from the models about this time of the afternoon, between now and 3 o'clock. And some of the data is suggesting tomorrow night into Wednesday, trending colder. So we may have to extend this, and we may have tomorrow night into Wednesday morning also be very cold out there. So we're going to have to watch that as well, not just tonight, but also potentially tomorrow night. So we've got a few clouds out there. That's view from Port Canaveral. The cold front has moved through. The front right now is about from Palm Bay to Fort Myers, and behind that it is clearing rapidly out there right now. No rain, no more rain tonight or tomorrow. Things are clearing out there. By the way, I should also mention no more thunderstorms. We had a few storms last night. I happened to fly in to Orlando last night, and I can't tell you how bizarre it was at MCO at 2 in the morning. It looked like it was 2 in the afternoon. So if you are flying, while the weather will not impact any more flights at Orlando like it did yesterday for the next few days, there's still huge residual effects. I mean, I've never seen flights with leaving at 3 in the morning that were supposed to leave at 6 in the afternoon from last night and this morning. So pretty notable there. But in terms of the weather, this wind or anything should not impact that anymore. All right, so the temperature trend are going to just tank. I mean, right now we're about 50s, low 60s. We'll be into the 40s probably as soon as the 10 o'clock news tonight. So before midnight, we're already dipping into the 40s. And look at the temps to our north. The actual air temp right now is 39 in Atlanta and in Memphis. If this were January or February, this would be still leading the newscast and still be headline making for how notable the cold is. The fact that it's November, it's even more so. I just want to make that point, that it's not the fact that it's going to be cold, because we do get a couple of bouts of this per winter in Florida, in Orlando area. It's how early in the year it is. I want to talk to you more about that coming up on the News Edge tonight. This is one of the earliest ever by miles that we've seen temperatures this low. Generally, if we get this, it's January or February, not pre-Thanksgiving. So here's the next 12 hours. Any clouds out there will go away. The temperatures are going to crater overnight. Now, we do have weather alerts in effect. You may have seen them on your Storm Team weather app. We do have a cold weather advisory in blue. Look, both mean that it's going to be cold. That's the point I want you to take from this. But the other point here is that those in purple are the only areas where the air temp is going to get to or below freezing. So that would include, let's just say, the villages and north. So if you're in the villages and north, you definitely need to cover over your plants, your garden, any flowers, anything outside that is growing. You need to protect it. Now, the duration of time below or at freezing is only going to be maybe like 2 to 4 hours in those areas. So it's not, we're talking like 6-7 hours below freezing like we can get in an Arctic blast of January or February. But that's enough to do damage to crops, flowers. Obviously, Marion County, Ocala area, you have a lot of farmers and a lot of agricultural communities in those areas. So definitely the farmers are all aboard on this, getting things prepared. But if you have a garden or flowers, anything outside, villages, Ocala, Reddick, up to Gainesville, those are the areas you need to protect it. If you have plants or anything around Orlando, anywhere else in this light blue, the temps will stay above freezing. So there's no concern about frost or a freeze there. So tomorrow morning, we're talking about 36 for an air temperature. The record in Orlando is 39, back from 1932. In the high tomorrow, this actually might trend down even a little bit more. The coldest afternoon high we've ever seen for the date. The previous record for that tomorrow was 61, back from 1913. So why do we have the cold, Garrett? Well, it's essentially just a piece of the polar vortex. This term got huge amounts of publicity. It's been a few years now. You may remember it was maybe back in the earlier 2010s. There was a huge Arctic blast in the northeast U.S. that was historic. And on social media, and at the time, Facebook and Twitter were still king more than Instagram, and TikTok wasn't even really a thing. It went uber viral around the world. The term polar vortex for meteorologists. And I'm saying this backstory because many people didn't hear of the term polar vortex until like 10 years ago. So what polar vortex means, it's always been around. It's just a piece of the really cold air that's contained almost always up in the Arctic, the North Pole. So up on the North Pole of the planet, there's really cold air that just sits up there and goes around in a circle, right around the North Pole. And when you can dislodge a piece of that, it could break down into parts of the Northern Hemisphere. In our case, the U.S., sometimes you get big Arctic shots into Europe. So it's just a piece of that ring of really, really cold air. Think about it like a pond of really, really cold air. And on the side of it, a little dam opens up and you get a huge rush. Instead of water, it's air that comes down. So that's what the polar vortex is. We've got a little piece of that. The air is literally coming down from the Arctic into the eastern U.S. If we had taken this exact weather map and moved it to January or February, we'd be talking about probably teens here. Air temperatures in the teens to 20s, which would truly be historic. But it's November, the air can only get so cold. But it's short-lived, and notice it moves out pretty quick going into the rest of the week, and then we'll actually be back into the 80s by next week. You see all the dry air coming in from the north. Now we also do have the potential for records in other places than just Orlando. Sanford, we're looking at potentially a record. So here's the air temps. What you need to know out the door, kids, to the bus stop, hat, jacket, definitely. Don't forget to care for your pets. It's going to be very cold. But again, in terms of crops, flowers, plants, the areas to protect, cover, care for them is really the villages, Bushnell, and north. Not really anywhere around Orlando. You don't need to cover over your plants on your lanai or bring them. I mean, you can. It's never going to hurt. But you see clearly the temperature is going to stay well above freezing. 36 tonight, Orlando. 37 Kissimmee. 43 in Cocoa Beach. Still really cold for the Space Coast there. 42 in Melbourne, which would tie a record. These little blue teal numbers, these are the records that could be broken tonight. And the wind chill in the morning with a northerly wind about 15 to 20 miles an hour. It's going to make that wind chill very apparent. Not normally in Florida do we talk about major wind chills. Most of the time in Florida, the wind chill is only a few degrees below. Tomorrow it could be 5 to 10 degrees below the actual air temperature. So it'll feel like 30 in Orlando, 27 in the Villages, 25 in Gainesville, 28 in Palm Coast. It's not quite low enough to bring in frostbite. I did get asked this actually at 2 in the morning from somebody, a family, coming to Disney in Orlando. This is not the level you would get frostbite at. It's not long enough and it's not cold enough, so we don't have to worry about that. But definitely out the door in the morning, Garrett. We're going to need hats, jackets, the whole 9 yards for the next 2 days. So Tuesday is Veterans Day. The weather will obviously have a big impact on all of the events. We'll watch this Tuesday night forecast, Garrett. One thing I do want to make mention is that this temp may trend down a lot. So it's possible that Tuesday night into Wednesday, we're back into the 30s again with weather alerts. So we'll see if we have to extend the storm team alert and if that forecast for Tuesday night to Wednesday morning trends down, because it looks like it is. But after Tuesday night, temperatures moderate quickly. We're back into the 80s by Saturday and Sunday. Not a cloud in the sky for the weekend. The humidity will stay pretty low, but other than maybe a sprinkle tonight into tomorrow morning, we're going to be pretty dry for the next week, Garrett.
At least there's a quick rebound after that freeze warning for some of the areas. Crazy to be talking about that already in November.
Yeah, but Garrett, it's like you said. I mean, we're in the 30s now, and if you hate it, this is right. This is a perk of being in Florida. If you don't like the cold, is nowhere up north are you seeing 30s and then an 80 on the same 7-day in winter. So
that's a good point
for us.
All right, that is a good point. Fox 85 Storm Team meteorologist Noah Berger, and we appreciate you joining us with our Florida Live forecast.
Thank you.